How's everyone doing?
Hi. Well, besides the fact that the whole coronavirus situation has turned the world upside down, I would say I'm doing pretty fine. I mean, Italy is sunny, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, I've been stuck in for 3 weeks, but at least I'm back to Ukraine.
And my supposedly 3-day vacation in Valencia is almost 4 weeks long.
At least I have a backyard there.
And at least we have the internet to still manage this presentation. I'm already stressing out.
Well, the conference on online brand building at Erasmus is on May 15th, so we still have plenty of time.
Yeah, but it's going to be way more challenging to finish the interviews online and on time.
Okay, then I suggest we all start planning right now which topics we're going to research and how.
I mean, the idea of the conference is brand building on social media, so I guess each one takes a company's branding.
I can't do that because I was thinking of looking at how students build a personal brand while considering future employment. It's a really cool topic, but it's personal branding.
Well, okay, well, then let's look at different types of branding online on different social media, because personally, I'm going to investigate how users interact with brands like Netflix and Hulu in terms of their customer service on Twitter.
Oh, I'm going to use Twitter as well and Instagram though, because I want to see how Starbucks utilizes its official Instagram and Twitter accounts to establish a positive brand equity.
Yeah, and I don't have a specific brand, but I'm also looking at Instagram. My research question is, how do Erasmus students experience brand engagement by fashion lifestyle brands on Instagram?
So you guys are mostly focusing on Instagram and Twitter. I chose to look at LinkedIn. So through my paper, I'm asking how do students construct their personal brand on LinkedIn in terms of future employment?
And how are you going to research that?
Interviews, around 4 or 5 with the Erasmus University students, because I need some elaborate answers, and this is the best way, I think. And then I want to perform mathematical analysis on the data by structuring it around 2 main themes. So I'm going to have LinkedIn functions and personal branding. And then these themes will be organized around the idea of authenticity online, the strategies employed, and effectiveness.
That's really cool. I plan on conducting 3 interviews with Erasmus students as well. And then I plan on analyzing the data by iterative open actual coding process, which would be employed for thematic analysis of the data. And key themes that I want to focus on are emotional rejection, exclusiveness, and activation.
I'm going to do content analysis. As you can imagine, I'm now aiming to investigate what marketing and communication strategies are used by the brand to construct a positive brand image. I'm planning to do content analysis on brand profiles by analyzing their most recent 50 posts on Instagram and 150 tweets on Twitter. I hope that my research will generate some interesting findings that can be later added to existing literature.
Oh, well, then I think we're pretty balanced because I'm also doing content analysis. So I plan to analyze tweets from the 2 companies, Netflix and Hulu. And more specifically, I'm going to look at their customer service page. But I'm also going to look at tweets of individuals who are tweeting to these pages, so I know what their perception of the brand is. So I calculated a bit, and that's going to leave me with a grand total of 400 tweets, which is quite a lot. But I'm going to do this by focusing on the research question of how do users perceive Netflix and Hulu in terms of loyalty and brand awareness through their Twitter customer service.
Then if you guys are fine with this, I suggest we all take around 2 weeks for data collection and analysis, and then have another call with all the findings.
Yes, sounds good. Let's have a call where we put everything together for the conference presentation.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys soon.
Oh, by the way, if you have any ideas for potential online interviewees, please forward them to me.
Okay.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
I know we're supposed to have the interview on Monday, but I'm stuck in Spain for the next 2 weeks. So maybe we can have it online. Is that okay?
Yeah. can't. I have 50 tweets left.
Hey guys, how's everyone's research going?
Hey, it's cool, but I still need to polish everything.
Found anything interesting?
Well, actually, yes. With the collected data, I found that the social exchange theory can be accepted to be corresponding with my research, which means that consumer and brand strive for balance in the relationship, and when imbalance occurs, balance restorative attempts will be made. For consumer in an exchange, for example, what he or she gives may be perceived as a cost, while what is received may be viewed as a reward. And the individual's behavior is modified as the difference between the two changes.
So you found this through qualitative interviews, right? So can you point at any limitations?
Yeah, well, a lack of generalizability occurs because of the qualitative approach. There are also so many brands actively using Instagram for gain in consumer brand engagement that my research is just very limited, as it only explains it for a few brands. And for extensive research, you could maybe use complementary concepts that help to understand brand engagement a bit more, because that lacks in my research.
Polina, did you also look at Instagram for your research?
Yes, I did coding and found 4 main categories: call to action, feeling trigger, user-generated content, and information sharing. Let me tell you a bit about my findings. So first of all, why is Instagram and Twitter are good platforms to use for Starbucks? The thing is, the brand promotes its products mainly through pictures and videos, and that is why Instagram suits its marketing strategy, since it is a visual outlet. Twitter is beneficial in terms of better customer experience, and Starbucks uses it to engage with their audience. Now, the 2 main Starbucks strategies that I have crafted for now are interacting with customers and repurposing content. Interaction comes from the fact that on both platforms, they turn their followers into brand advocates by reposting their messages and in that way making users feel valued. And what makes the company stand out from other brands is the fact that by adding certain humor and human aspect to their communication, Starbucks creates some sort of brand personality that you can interact with. What I have also noticed is that Starbucks repurposes its content across Twitter and Instagram. The brand doesn't copy word for word posts and inserts them across networks, since they are aware that each social media channel is different and requires a technique. Each one of Starbucks' posts is slightly different, but still contains similar language that delivers the same message across to the audience.
And does your research have any limitations?
Yes, that's a good question. The scope of my paper is limited by a certain time frame when data was collected, and this might not include a wider overview of the brand strategy. In addition, I have analyzed accounts of Starbucks in the United States. Looking at other countries might have generated other findings.
Well, interesting, because my research also kind of like focuses on customer experience and Twitter. So for specifically Netflix and Hulu, like I talked about in our last call. And my main findings were that individuals usually tend to appreciate a brand more when they send like a personalized response. So when there's like this humanized aspect about it. But a customer is usually dissatisfied if the company takes a lot of time to respond or sends standardized messages with like a little link where the customer has to click on it in order to give more details about their issue. So it's kind of, yeah, it's really interesting. And on top of that, what I read about was that a lot of users complained about the chat services of Netflix and Hulu. So that's also interesting. And basically what I can say is that I think that through personalized responses, brands can create a stronger sense of loyalty with their customers. And I think that brand awareness is directly related to it because the brand will create a sort of image on Twitter, and that customers will associate this image to that brand. So that links to brand awareness. So basically, what is the most effective way for a brand to use social media customer service? Well, I'm going to announce that in my final paper.
What about the limitations in your research?
Let me think. Well, I would say the time frame, because I only looked at more recent tweets, like over the course of a week, maybe 2 weeks. I'm not quite sure what that time frame was. And on top of that, my sample was pretty small, because even though 400 tweets overall seemed like a lot for me, just looking at 100 tweets for each company is kind of limited. So I would say that more research is needed on the topic.
Oh, talking about under research topics, mine is definitely lacking more literature to rely on, but the interviews generated a lot of data.
Oh, how did it go?
Quite well, I think, because I have some very interesting findings as well. So overall, students recognize 3 main functions of LinkedIn, and these are finding new opportunities, networking, and personal development. And on top of this, an important reason for using LinkedIn for students is to brand themselves, and they do so by trying to appear authentic to their audience. And in that sense, authenticity is mainly described as honesty in facts and openness in passions. And this is in line with the literature on topic. For instance, the study by Labrec, Marcos, and Mille in 2011. They have a number of strategies for personal branding. For instance, sharing academic achievements, sharing their passions and opinions, resharing quality content and the people they feel inspired by, and praising others. So another interesting finding would be that most respondents noted that they share content that would have some sort of value for their audience. A desired effect for that would be standing out from the crowd, and the measurable effect would be professional success.
And are there any limitations to your research?
Yeah, of course. Most of the respondents that I had are media and communication students. They're quite active on the social media scheme, so they also have this mandatory class on LinkedIn, so they are more active than the general population maybe on LinkedIn. So a study with a higher sample population may provide more interesting data. However, this was like a qualitative research, so I was not looking for validity, reliability, and generalizing the findings.
Yeah. Well, based on everything that I just heard, I think we all did some really good work, and I think we're on the right track for our conference.
Yeah, let's all make sure we finish by Friday next week. Put everything together and rehearse once more.
Okay, good luck everyone, and let's keep each other's updated. Nice job overall.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna ace this conference. So enjoy your time at home, guys, and see you soon.